Salute to all the real ones out there. It's your boy Mike coming at you again with another video. If you like the direction that my channel was headed in, you've seen some of my other videos, I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and share those videos with anybody you think may benefit from them, alright? So today's video is going to be a little bit of an ego boost for me. I'm going to talk about basically the reasons why I love being a Taurus. Alright, now Taurus is the second sign in the zodiac. It's represented by the infamous bull. Its element is earth, and its disposition is fixed. Alright, so Tauruses are known to be like stubborn, immovable, determined. They always go for what they want, unwavering, disciplined, reliable, slow moving, slow thinking, hate change, so on and so forth. I know you guys probably heard a whole bunch of stuff about Taurus, and it's pretty much like, if you think of like someone who is hard-headed and doesn't want to listen to anybody, that's typically going to be Taurus. That's where you get the name bull-headed, right? But there's some things that I really love about being my sign, and I'm born May 17th, so that gives me also the advantage of being influenced by Gemini since I'm on the cusp. All right, so that's going to be fast talking, fast thinking, able to adapt probably a little bit faster than the average Taurus who is stuck in their thinking. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So one thing I love about being a Taurus is that I'm always on firm ground, which means like I don't need a whole bunch of support from everybody else in order to stand on my own opinions and stay true to what I think is important in life. There have been numerous times where I was the only person in a room who felt a certain way, but I was so unwavering in my thought process that like I'm willing to accept what other people have to say, but I'm still not going to change my mind. Like, so for example, I got a friend named Zach. Earlier he sent me a futuristic looking concept for a motorcycle and was basically saying, that it looked nice, bro. Would you ride that? And I said, yeah, I mean, it looks cool, but no, like I don't like it. I wouldn't ride it, you know what I mean? And he like, what? Like, you don't like it? You don't think it's cool or whatever? And then I'm like, yeah, I mean, that I don't, you know what I mean? Or if you come to me and you go, hey man, you like this jacket, it's from Louis Vuitton or whatever the fuck, like I'll look at it, and if I don't like it, I'll tell you, no, I don't like it. And then it might be the whole room trying to convince me, like, dude, you really don't like it. I mean, look, it has this design, it has this label. Whoever rapper just wore it. I'll be like, so I still don't care. And then I have no problem like going toe to toe with anybody about my opinion. I stand firm on my ground. So that's one thing I love about being a Taurus. Second, it's easy for me to be decisive and or make decisions. Like, I'm not one of these people who will sit there for days on end, weighing the pros and cons of this and can't figure out that and need to ask this person for their opinion, and then I take their opinion and I give it to this person, and then I'm, stuck in the middle, lost, and I need to involve like 50 people just to make a decision. Like, Taurus thinks quick, you know what I mean? When they want something or they think, oh, that makes sense, they go with it, And that's one of the things I really feel like helped me in my life, because I didn't always have to sit around and take other people's opinion into account. I mean, like, I feel like it makes you a powerful person when you're able to be decisive and make decisions on your own. Now, the thing is with a Taurus is we are pretty thorough in our thought process. So we have our certain way of thinking that will allow us to slice through the details. And once we decide, yep, that's what it's going to be, then that's what it's going to be. It's almost like a hammer coming down with the judge in court. Think of that like the Taurus. And another thing, let me go ahead and clear that up. People think, oh, Taurus is stubborn or Taurus is this or that. I'm going to tell you one thing real quick. Tauruses know what works for them. So if you can convey a different way of thinking and they respect your logic, and they see that your way of thinking may be more effective than theirs, they have no problem adopting that mentality that you have or that idea that you just presented and using it for themselves. They have no problem. But Taurus ain't gonna just change his mind because somebody else said some shit. Like, we need some hard proof. So that's one of the misconceptions about this sign. 3, supreme confidence. Yo, Tauruses don't need everybody else to validate them. They usually gonna validate themselves. And yeah, occasionally we like to have our ego boosted with a compliment here or there because we don't mind giving people compliments or telling them what we really think. So that is important from time to time to kind of like get a little bit of validation. But for the most part, a Taurus has all of his validation from himself. And that's one thing I like is I don't have to rely on other people to know who I am or how I should feel. 4, strength. Yo, Tauruses have mad strength. Like, even it don't matter if they're slim, skinny. It doesn't matter. I'm talking about they're typically gonna just be strong. I've always been a tall, slim guy, but you put me next to somebody who weighs my same exact weight, I'll probably body them. And I'm not saying I'm the strongest dude ever, but I'm just strong in many ways, and that's not just physically. That's also mentally. Case in point, a Taurus can make a decision, stick with it, and everybody in the whole room could be saying this and that, this, that, this, that, but Taurus will still be holding true to what they say. Like, Dame Dash, for example, is a Taurus. And yeah, he might be a little bit over the top sometimes, but at the end of the day, what is his message? It's pretty pure, and he's actually living proof that whatever he's talking about, he's physically doing, so you can only respect it. And we also have a hard work ethic, We're not one of these cats that want to get on the job and kind of lay around and, be lazy. I mean, I'm not going to speak for all Tauruses. You guys, your pieces of shit in every single group. But I'm saying by and large, especially if it's a May 17th Taurus, I guarantee dude is going to have a pretty strong work ethic. Another thing I love about being Taurus is that we're blessed by Venus. Venus is the god of, the god of love, beauty, sex, art, and pretty much like anything that's aesthetically pleasing, music. You see, so like I'm blessed with Venus because you can tell from like I have a magnetic sexual aura. I never had problems with the opposite sex, bro. Because here I am, a Taurus, which is representing a feminine sign and is controlled by Venus. But then I'm 17 May, so then I'm ruled by Saturn, which is the same planet that, no, it doesn't control Scorpio. But that's neither here nor there. Like I got a Aries moon. So the Aries moon is like cardinal fire, passionate, adventurous, pioneer, and it makes me like rumble like a volcano inside. But on the outside, I'm like a calm Taurus, and I have all these soft features. Like, you see my skin is always like really, really glowing, my hair is real thick and curly. That's typical Taurus shit, yo. Real deep, deep eyes. Like, you could look in my eyes, I could stare right in yours forever, And I've been told that I have like a warm aura, like Taurus has all the salt, round little nose and shit like that. Most of the time we have small ears. Mine aren't too small, but and like a youthful appearance. And Taurus's rule sensuality. So whenever I have a partner, sexual partner, I know how to get in tune with them, and like I'm very touchy feely. I like giving hugs and rubbing on the person and so on and so forth. So these are all things that I'm blessed with from Venus. Number 6, I love being the fact that, like, with Taurus, I like the fact that I'm highly methodical and systematic. Like, you give me anything that I need to do as a task, and I'm going to create my own way of doing it. I'm going to have a little system that I'm going to set up in my head real quick, like, all right, let me try that out. And then when I find out that I'm getting results, even if it's a little bit slower than how the average person would do it, I'm going to have my own little artistic touch and flair on it, where you'll probably know, oh yeah, Mike did that shit. Like, let's say you walked in my room, even if I was a teenager, you could pick out which room is mine based on how it smelled, all of that. So Tauruses are like very methodical. We always come up with some type of system that we want to use in order to accomplish a task. 7, one thing I really love about being a Taurus, and this is very, very spiritually freeing, we don't really give a fuck what other people think. It's often that you'll see a Taurus like kind of doing his own thing, and then everybody else has an opinion on what he should be doing or what he could be doing instead. But a Taurus will usually just shrug their shoulders and say, well, I don't give a fuck. Like, we focus on what we want, we think what we think, and then it's like, get with it or get lost. And that's a cool mentality to have. I mean, of course, sometimes you might catch yourself slipping. Like, I know I have. I'll be around people and then I start trying to be considerate, and that also plays into the fact that I'm a numerology number 9. I always want to see to it that there's harmony, and I feel like I can adapt myself to the situation. And I'm influenced by Gemini, so I know I could switch off one side or be like I could switch off parts of my character to overall have more harmony with the group that I'm with. Now this isn't an all-time thing, but I'm saying by and large, I really don't give a fuck what people think. You know what I'm saying? You can have your little opinion, but I'm like, and it kind of goes with that saying that actions speak louder than words. Tauruses respect people who actually got something to say that they can really take from. So case in point, let's say I'm about to start investing, but you never invested, but then you have a whole bunch of stuff to say. A Taurus is literally like, but let's say you are rich and you pull up in a whip, and I'm like, dang, that's a nice ass whip, and then I'm talking to you and I like where you're coming from with your knowledge because I see that you practically put all those steps into action. I'm gonna really be listening, like ears wide open, and taking everything you say way more serious than some idiot on the street, because we think like opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one, and for the most part they stink. You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares about your little stupid opinion? You ain't even doing nothing with your life, so why should I just listen to you? 8, we're highly determined to reach goals. That's one thing I love about being Taurus. Is like any goal that I set is pretty much good as done. Like my dad always tells me, like, shit, once you tell me that you got something on your mind, I pretty much shrug my shoulders and know it's good as being done. It's not to say that I accomplished every single thing I set out to do. Of course, I'm only human, but for the most part, whatever I want and set my focus on, I'm gonna get it, and that's like a powerful feeling to have. Tauruses are also quite savvy with money. It's rare that you're going to see a Taurus that's just flat fucking broke, like no money to his name whatsoever. Oh, he might not have all the money he's used to. He might not, he might be cheap right now, but I guarantee you some account that's sitting there, if all else fails, that got like another 1,000 in it. Like, we don't never just going to be broke. You know what I mean? And if that is the case, I guarantee if you check that dude's chart, he's influenced by some other frivolous sign like Gemini or some other shit. Or I'm telling you, most Tauruses are going to always have some money socked away. You might not know about it, but he'll never be broke. Oh, and another thing is like a natural eye for quality and beauty. And that's also with people or possessions. If a Taurus tells you, yo, this is good quality, you can trust that shit, because he probably put it on himself. He probably touched it in his hand. He probably smelled it, put it up against his skin. Like, we're very sensual creatures, bro. So whatever we put a check mark on, you could pretty much guarantee that the quality is good. And we're not even the type of people that will go and just blow money on something just because it has a good name. Like, we might be loyal to a brand or something like that, but for the most part, we're looking at anything that we buy to stick around for the long haul. We don't like just getting rid of shit. We want to get something. If we're going to put it like this, a Taurus goes to buy a jacket, they'll be willing to spend $700, $800. Like, they'll spend the money, but in return, they want good quality. So that quality from the Taurus is going to be checked. How it smells, how it looks. They're going to picture in their head, is it going to be good 3 years from now? They're going to try it on. How does it feel on my skin? Now, you might have something that got a fly-ass label right here. But if the Taurus don't like how it fits on the skin, get that shit off me. I'll take something that's cheaper, that'll stick around, that actually fits good on my skin. So. And some bonuses, alright? What I notice about me as a Taurus, bro, is like, whatever I do find in my life that I come in contact with, that I see can benefit me, I like implement it into my life, and it becomes a new permanent thing that I do. And that's a really, really cool thing to have as a Taurus, because that basically means you're always going to develop new habits that will be beneficial. So then over time, you actually become just a better individual. You start taking, from here, oh, I like eating clean. Or, I remember back in the day, my wife kind of told me why she doesn't eat pork. So I stopped eating pork. And then ever since then, I literally just don't eat pork anymore. Like, I'm not missing it either. Or I start lifting weights, and I realize, yo, that's a good way to live life. Now I can't even live without lifting weights. You see, it's like easy for me to take stuff and put it into my routine and over time it'll make me better. Hypochondriac. Yo, that's straight up May 17th Taurus shit. Like, I always err more on the side of being extra healthy, like a little health nut, than I am on the side of being gluttonous and overindulgent like most other Tauruses do. As I mentioned earlier, I'm fast-minded because I'm on the Gemini cusp. So it's easy for me to, make these videos and just go off the top of my head and just go crazy. Or when I made my little albums, how many times did I just sit in the back and just freestyle a whole track with no problem, so I'm very adventurous due to my Aries moon. So, I'm a Taurus that on the outside, if I actually go on my Taurus energy, I'm like a statue, sitting like this. Don't nobody know what's going on in my head, and I got everything all calm and collected like a big ass mountain. But on the inside, it's like a fiery Aries energy that's always trying to motivate me to do more and be more spontaneous and conquer life. And the last thing that I really love about being a Taurus is that I'm very driven to one day live a life of financial freedom. So I find it very important to like invest and learn more about how to make money work for me. And you get a real thrill out of taking money and putting it somewhere and knowing that you're one step closer to having that freedom in your life to do what you want and not always have to worry about the cost of everything. And we're in uncertain times and things like that, but with my Taurus ability to just focus on what I want, like the vision in my head is so crystal clear. It's almost like unless the world ends, there's no way that I won't see it happen. So those are some things I just love about being Taurus. All you Taurus haters out there, y'all can shut the hell up. Do some research. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I thank y'all for watching the video, and I'll holler back on the next one.